Well, just pretty well played ball game. You take away maybe one drop fly ball in the outfield is really kind of a high sky situation. He kind of lost it. Um, Pretty solid game all the way around. I think that Hill had good stuff, especially early. We had trouble squaring him up and threw a lot of off speed and sneaked fastball in on us a little bit. And he's a guy who just doesn't give up much hits. You look at his numbers throughout the year. I mean, he's got 30 more innings than he's given up hits. I think it's up there. It seemed like anyway. And so you just have to try to wait him out a little bit. Try to get his pitch count up. And it looked like after the first couple innings we weren't going to be able to do that. He was getting us out pretty quick and real efficient. And then we battled him. I think we had a couple of full count guys fouling balls off, and Carson had a really good at bat where he fouled off a couple of pitches when he had a full count, and then he drew a walk on a pitch that was probably about 2 balls low. It was a great take, and we just kind of chipped away and scored a run here and a run there, and but we still never really got to Hill. He kind of he walked us and hit us, and then we finally put together a big inning there, and I think it was the 7th, which was huge for us, and good win for us.
All right, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you for questions for the student athletes. We'll start with Bob.
Hey, this is for Carson. It's kind of a 3-parter. What were you thinking when they intentionally walked Dominic in front of you? Kind of had that feel your fire. What pitch did you hit? And you guys had struggled to score with the bases loaded against South Carolina. How, what were you thinking about that? And how big was it to come through in that situation?
I didn't really try to put too much pressure on myself. I heard there was a guy behind me that was saying they have no respect for you, and so I kind of had that ringing in my head. I didn't really want that ringing in my head, but I guess it worked out. I hit a fastball in. I was just trying to is it Demurius? Yeah. His fastball takes off when it's on the outside corner, and so I was just kind of telling myself to don't let him sneak one by you on the outside corner, so work out to in, and then just see a curveball up if you threw me that. But he threw me a fastball in, low and in, and then yeah, the bases loaded thing, I really wasn't trying to do too much. I was just trying to put the bat on the ball. We had less than 2 outs, so I was just trying to get the ball in play and hopefully to the outfield.
And then when you hit it, cleared the bases, how'd that feel?
That was great. I kind of lost control when I was about halfway through first, and I mean, y'all have seen me play. I don't really hold my emotions when things go well for me. So I lost control of my emotions, and then it was I didn't even think to look up and see that Fletcher was scoring, but he scored, and I was like, oh crap, he scored too. So I was just pumped up.
Matt.
For Carson and Jax, I wonder if you two could speak to this. There's been so many times this year where you guys just seem like you really jump on a team really fast, and it goes from a 1-run game to a 4 or 5-run game.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. This lineup's really deep, and so when one guy gets on, it kind of translates to another guy, and the term or the phrase "hitting is contagious" really is true. That one guy gets a hit, and it kind of just builds confidence, and the pitcher kind of sits on it, and you can kind of take off on a team real quick.
Yeah, I think that we have the ability to do that, and I think that the reason why we did it tonight is because Adam Hill was so sharp. You got to give him credit. He pitched his butt off. He was really tough at the beginning of the game, and just throughout his whole start today, he was tough. He didn't give us anything.
Questions for the student athletes?
I wanted to ask Blaine how you felt and just kind of maybe battling through tonight. How did it go?
Body-wise, arm-wise, I felt fine. Definitely didn't have the big breaker. Struggled with fastball command, slider, left one hanging, and Stokes hit it out. So, I mean, just had to gut through it and get it done. Defense backed me up big time like they have all year long. So if it wasn't for them, I think it would have been a little different story.
Bob?
Is for Jax and Blaine. What was the feeling like in the dugout when they walked Fletcher and Carson was up, and then what was the feeling? What was the reaction when he got that hit?
It wasn't any disrespect to Carson. It's just the right baseball move to make. You're trying to step a double play ball. But Carson, I think, already faced their pitcher one time, had a good at-bat against him, and so we had full trust in him and full confidence in him. Yeah,
same thing, man. I thought it was a smart move. Their coach dressed up a double play, but, it kind of backfired on them. So, I mean, the dugout went crazy. And we were pumped up for Shaddy, and, you know, it gave us a good lead.
If all three of you could take this one, we'll start with Carson. But they say 5 wins to Omaha, right? You guys have 4, and you have 1 more. That reality as you guys approach tomorrow.
We have a lot of work to do tomorrow. That South Carolina's not going to give us anything. You know, we're going to come in tomorrow and we're going to wake up and we're going to attempt to play our best game. And, you know, we're not thinking about the phrase 1 more to Omaha. That's not in our minds at all. It's just come to work, come to the yard and get to work.
Yeah, same thing that Shaddy said. I mean, we still got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, and so that's where our focus is. And, you know, we're just going to get up and come out here to the yard tomorrow.
Yeah, just backpacking off these 2. Just going to take it, you know, 1 inning, 1 pitch at a time, and, you know, see how the game goes out.
Nate.
Blaine, just how comfortable for you and really for the staff for Lowski to come in and get a 3-inning save, especially that first inning when it was just, you know, 1-run game still.
Yeah, no, that was huge. Lucy's been really good for us down the stretch, and we had full confidence in him. I had full confidence in him, and for him to come in and go for 3 innings, save the rest of the pen. We'd have to use Cronin, have to use Reindl, so that was huge.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Tom?
Jax, you're at bat in the 6th inning that gave you the lead. Y'all had not had a hit with runners in scoring position to that point. Just can you talk us through your at bat and getting that big one?
Yeah, just trying to get a fastball to hit. You know, the Demarius has a really good slider. And so, you know, he threw a get me over one that kind of just backed up on him. And then threw a really good one in the dirt that I was able to lay off of. So I got in a good hitter's count. And just, you know, got the fastball I was looking for and, you know, hit it up the middle.
Matt?
Hitters Biggers and Shaddy, the 7th inning, the big inning, it was the second time you'd seen that pitcher. Was there anything that you had seen against him the first time that maybe gave you an idea that you could have a big inning against him?
For one, I mean, he didn't really give us anything. He was tough. He was sharp. But I would say in my bat, I knew that his fastball jumped when it was on the outside corner, so I just had to protect that and kind of try to take that away from him. And going into my last at bat, that's what I did.
Yeah, I think we faced him, I want to say, maybe in the SEC tournament and the weekend we played him.
Yeah.
So, you know, the more times you face a pitcher, usually it helps the hitter out more, and I think that's just kind of what happened.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Gentlemen, thanks for your time. All right, same thing. Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you for Coach Van Horn. Start with Matt.
Dave, you've had a number of innings this year where, you know, just one big inning might have outscored the other team. I wonder if you can just speak to your offense's ability to do that. It seems several games.
I think most teams that are pretty offensive, when they get it rolling a little bit, they can put up some runs pretty quick. And you know, you walk us and you hit us, and we give up a single to us. You know, a lot of times this year we hit a ball out of the park, and I think, you know, this is 2 games in a row that we've won that we haven't hit a home run, which is a good thing. You know, you got to be able to win without hitting a home run every now and then, and you know, just credit to the depth of our lineup, and kind of like Jax Biggers said, that, you know, once we get it going a little bit, it kind of builds some confidence. Guys in the dugout get a little bit excited, and a lot of times it bothers the other team's pitchers, you know, when they feel like we're putting a little heat on them. But yeah, we've had a lot of big innings this year. We've got a good offensive team.
Yeah, Dave, what you guys had some issues scoring with the bases loaded against these guys. I mean, you've done it some, but not probably as much as you would have liked. How big was Carson's hit? And, you know, he alluded to showing some emotion. You said the other day you'd prefer he not, but I mean, I assume you were okay with them showing some emotion after that.
Well, his hit was huge. You know, at the time we had a 1-run lead. We were just hoping at a minimum we'd get a sacrifice fly, double our lead. You know, when he hit the ball to the gap, I knew we were going to have at least 3. That gave us a 4-run lead, and then Gates with the big sac fly on an 0-2 pitch gave us a 5-run lead. It gave us an opportunity to set Matt Cronin back down and let Lowski continue out there and, you know, hopefully finish the game for us, and that's what he did. You know, we'll see how it plays out over the next day or two, whatever it takes. You know, how big a swing that really was. If Cronin can come in and stop up and help us stop them and help us get another win, you know, I would say it was a huge swing.
As far as the emotion.
Carson's emotion. I was kind of excited too, but it's like I always tell these guys, it's okay to show emotion. It depends on when you show it. And, at the time we still needed to get 3 more outs, or actually 6 more outs. So, I just told him to calm down a little bit and let's try to get another run in there. And, I'm emotional, so I expect them to show some emotion. I don't want them to drain themselves. If it had been the second inning, I wouldn't have liked it a whole lot. Because you have way too much game left to play and it's hot, and you need to save your energy.
Dave, Mark said that it was a no-brainer to walk Fletcher,
Yeah.
and that Shaddy has a 60% ground ball rate. But you also kind of know that kind of fuels Carson. I mean, what were you thinking when they did that and Shaddy came up with the bases loaded?
Well, I would have done the same thing. You had a base open, you had a left-handed hitter up, you had a right-handed pitcher on the mound, so why not go with the right-on-right matchup, try to throw a slider, get him to swing on touch, just to get a ground ball, have a chance to turn a double play. And, Shaddy fouled a pitch or two off, laid off a borderline pitch, had a pitch called away on him, and, got to a count where the pitcher had to come in there a little bit better. And, he did a great job of getting his hands inside the baseball and putting the barrel on it. And, obviously it was huge for us at the time. It changed the whole game.
This was the first time Lowski had pitched since the Florida game in the SEC tournament. I think it's about a half a month. I know he's thrown in practice, but to see him do that, go so long without pitching in a game and do as well as he did, what were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, my thoughts are he did a super job saving the rest of our bullpen. It's just game one. We haven't done anything yet except win game one. But he's he's a guy that's been ready to go, and we just felt like that. We had Rindle ready to go if they're in certain situation, but once we got through the inning, we thought let's go with Lowski. Rindle wasn't 100% ready to go. He'd only thrown like 14 warm-up pitches somewhere in there. We just felt like Lowski was the guy that could get us a couple innings, maybe get us to the 9th inning where we could bring in Cronin. If we had to bring him in for 2, we were ready to do that. But any out that he could get for us was big, and for him to get 9 outs was really big.
Coach, Adam Hill's pitch count really took off, I guess, after he cruised through those first 2 innings. What did you kind of see as the cause for that?
Well, what it was is we had some guys that did a great job of laying off some borderline pitches early in the count. Then he threw some fastballs up and out that we laid off and fouled a lot of pitches off. Like I mentioned earlier, we had a couple of guys in one inning back-to-back. The first hitter, I think, went full count, fouled a couple more off, then he got him out. I think the next hitter full count fouled some more off and we got on, and then here we go. All of a sudden the pitch count's starting to get there a little bit. Whether or not, I don't even remember how that inning turned out, but it was getting him up there where they would have to start thinking, hey, he's not going to give us 7 or 8. And they had to start thinking about what they were going to do. And like I said, he never gave us a good swing, really, where we had a chance to hit a double and score 2. We only got 2 hits on him. But he walked us a few times and hit us a couple of times and ended up, helping us score a couple runs.
Hey, Coach, we'll talk about Shaddy's double for a while, but he was really good in the infield for you, making some good plays.
Yeah, I mean, he made a really nice play to his left. We kind of pinched that gap over there a little bit when Cortez is up, and one of the other lefties, can't think of his name off the top of my head, and he got over there quick, made a really nice play, kind of popped up, made a nice throw, and caught a really that line drive he caught. You have to almost try to catch one and know what he was going through. The ball was knuckling at him. It was really hit hard. It was good that he tracked it all the way to his glove and kind of made it look easy, but it wasn't an easy play. He's been playing good defense for us. He's a good player.
Any more questions for Coach Van Horn? Coach, thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks.